The Carmelo Anthony trade. A trade near and dear to my heart. A trade that was conspired during what may be the very precipice of my NBA fanhood during my freshman year of high school. A trade that changed my life forever. The year was 2011. The Denver Nuggets had now made the playoffs every single year since 2004, the year Carmelo Anthony was drafted. But despite continuous star power with the likes of Allen Iverson, Nene, Kenyon Martin, J.R. Smith, Chauncey Billups, and many others, they had not got out of the first round of the playoffs other than 2009, where they lost to Kobe Bryant's destined and future NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. After another disappointing first-round exit to the Utah Jazz in 2010, Carmelo wanted out. It wasn't a secret. Anthony declined any long-term commitment to the Nuggets and had his eyes set for the 2011 free agency market after seeing the fruits that the 2010 market had bared to LeBron and Chris Bosh. On August 3, 2010, Carmelo's camp, through sources, made it known that his top destination choices were Chicago or New York. Carmelo, being a native of New York and searching for the limelight of being a star in a big market, or paired with the rising star which was Derrick Rose, and the basketball hub of Chicago, these destinations made sense. But it was the Knicks who made the most sense. The floundering NBA team based out of New York had been searching desperately for a spark to energize its fan base ever since Stephen Marbury took MSG by the horns and finally electrified the good people of Manhattan for what may be the first time since the Knickerbockers made the finals in 2000. The Knicks had had a losing record every single year since the 2000-2001 season and were desperate to find someone who could give them hope. Carmelo Anthony would be the perfect fit, the perennial superstar they've always been searching for. But where did this leave the Nuggets? Denver had been leaning on Carmelo since they drafted him in 2003, freshly off an NCAA championship with Syracuse. He was their man. Where were they to go without their perennial all-star? Was this really it for the player they gave so many Coloradans a hope for their first taste of NBA championship glory? What would Denver do without the player that had led them to the playoffs every single year since his inception into the NBA? The glory days of relying on Carmelo's success were coming to a screeching halt. These were very uncertain times to be a Nuggets fan. In the background of it all, and to be honest, this is where I was telling all of my freshman friends back in January 2011, when I came to grips with the idea that Carmelo wanted to leave Denver, were the New Jersey Nets. In my opinion, New Jersey had the most advantageous offer with a package surrounding newly drafted, budding with potential number 3 overall pick Derek Favors, as well as a package of future first-round picks. The New Jersey Nets' new owner, Russian Mikhail Prokhorov, wanted a star, and showed in the future he would do anything to get one. However, Carmelo would not be that star. After months of turmoil, drama, and speculation, on the fateful night of February 24th, 2010, and I remember this night vividly because I was furiously refreshing ESPN.com after hearing rumors on TV that Carmelo trade talks had intensified, Carmelo Anthony with Chauncey Billups and deep reserves Sheldon Williams, Anthony Carter, and Ronaldo Bachman had been traded to the New York Knicks for Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, Timofey Mozgov, the Knicks 2014 first-round draft pick, 2016 first-round pick swap, the Warriors 2012 second-round pick, the Warriors 2013 second-round pick, and $3 million in cash. I was stunned. I was hurt. Why did Carmelo leave us? We never wanted to trade him. Everything I had ever known and ever would know about the NBA would be different. I immediately turned to NBA 2K10 and manually traded each of the players involved in the trade so I could use these teams and get a good feel for what the new Nuggets identity would feel like. My immediate reaction was that none of these players were stars, and we just got coerced out of one of the 3 best players in the NBA for a handful of role players. The big market had won again. The Nuggets would never be good again. The picks weren't comparable to what the Nets were offering, and we lost Chauncey Billups. The big market won again. They purged another star. We were swindled. At least that's what I thought. So that 4 minutes of build-up leads me to ask the question, once and for all, who actually won this trade? 10 years later, after pretty much all of the dust has settled, with Carmelo's career winding down on life support, and every player involved in the trade being off of each other's roster completely since Wilson Chandler and Danilo Gallinari swapped teams in 2018, the snow globe had been shaken, and the snowflakes have fallen. I drove through the crossroads of loyalty, heartbreak, and betrayal. I think it is now my duty to document these times for the impact they had made on my life. And because of that, I am out to answer the question once and for all. Who actually won the Carmelo Anthony trade? Alright, get ready for the madness. Before we start, here's a list of all the players still in the Nuggets in 2021, 10 years after the trade, that are still in the Nuggets as a result of the trade. And here's a picture of all the Knicks players still on the team as a result of the trade. As you can see, there is no one left because Carmelo Anthony, Chauncey Billups, and the other 3 players left via free agency. I have decided to use a checklist to determine the results of our trade through our quantifiable results that we have found. The first category that we have determined is quantifiable as all-star appearances per team. The New York Knicks have 7 players who qualified for an all-star appearance between the years of 2011's Carmelo Anthony trade to today, 2021, and the Denver Nuggets have 2 players who have qualified for an all-star. The Knicks win this category in the trade results. For the next quantifiable results, I have calculated win percentage. The Knicks win percentage ends when Carmelo Anthony leaves in 2017, whereas the Nuggets win percentage is to today in 2021 because of them having Jamal Murray. The Nuggets win this category in our quantifiable results with a win percentage of 540 to the Knicks win percentage of 476 during Carmelo Anthony's time with the Knicks. All tied up 1-1. The next category involves the direct result of each team's wins percentage during Carmelo Anthony's tenure with the Knicks. The Nuggets win this category with a winning percentage of 503. The Nuggets are now up 2-1. Because I wanted to be fair, I counted the playoff victories during the immediate span with the majority of players on each team after the trade. The Nuggets had Raymond Felton, Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, and Timofey Mozgov as their core, whereas the Knicks had Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups. During this span, the Knicks were the only team to result in a playoff victory. Could argue that this quantifiable result category is invalid because the Nuggets have Jamal Murray as a result of the trade. Because of that, I've taken this into account, and I will count a separate category later on as our quantifiable results, including Jamal Murray's Nuggets playoff record. Next, we have playoff series victories per each franchise since the day of the trade in 2011. The Nuggets take this quantifiable category 3-1, with 3 playoff series victories since the trade. For the next category, I've totaled the amount of playoff series victories for each team during Carmelo Anthony's span on the Knicks. The Nuggets did not win a single playoff series with the core of Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, and Timofey Mozgov, whereas the Knicks won 1 playoff series against the Boston Celtics in 2012. The Knicks take this category. For the next category, we have playoff appearances during Carmelo's tenure with the Knicks. Immediately after the trade, each team made the 2011 postseason and followed that with a 2012 and 2013 postseason appearance. Neither team during Carmelo's tenure appeared in the playoffs after that. This one is a tie and goes to the Cats. Next, we have playoff appearances since the trade. The Denver Nuggets franchise is better off in this quantifiable category with 4 playoff appearances to the Knicks' 3 playoff appearances. The Nuggets hold the slight edge in who won this trade. And finally, we have impactful players still on the team 10 years after the trade. The Nuggets are the sole winner of this category with 1 player from that trade, with Jamal Murray being the 2016 pick swap that came over to the Nuggets, still paying dividends 10 years ago to the day of the trade. The Knicks ended up with a pick swap with the Nuggets, which resulted in the 9th pick instead of the 7th pick, and drafted Jakob Poeltl, who they subsequently traded away to the Toronto Raptors for Andrea Bargnani. The Nuggets far and away win this category, with Jamal Murray being an integral presence in the Nuggets' Western Conference final run last year during the NBA playoffs. And our final results: Nuggets 5, Knicks 3. In the moment, the Carmelo Anthony trade was a soul-crushing experience. But over time, it galvanized who I was by crystallizing my oath to loyalty and fanhood passion. I was extremely upset at Carmelo for his disloyalty to Denver, but 10 years later, from the perspective of an adult, rather than a tribalistic, rabid sports teenager. I understand and comprehend that he was only trying to vault his lifestyle and career. In a way, now, I'm glad he demanded a trade that led to the butterfly effect of my further identification with Denver Nuggets basketball, as well as starless, competitive basketball that I enjoyed feverishly to watch through the 2010s, which ultimately led to the union of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in 2021. And ultimately, the Nuggets won this trade.